Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So Tom is working another 12 hours today, so to stay out of trouble, I'm going to make a couple more freezer meals for my son. Today I'm not going to bake them, so I'm going to do a little bit different so that it can be made into a freezer meal, and like he said last night, they can bake it themselves. So the first thing I'm going to do, we're making Santa Fe baked chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a can of my black beans that I've canned. I'm not going to measure these. It says do this, do that. I'm just going to, I'm not going to waste a part of a can. So I'm just going to throw it all in there. And a can of corn. I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro in there. He's not the biggest fan, so I'm not going to put a ton in there. And then I need a cup and a half of salsa. It says to drain it, but I've already drained the beans and the corn, so I want a little bit of juice in there. I know we're gonna get some from the chicken and stuff, but you know what? My kitchen, my rules, and they loved everything I made last weekend, so we're gonna do a repeat. And he came over and got some fish last night, not all of it, because I guess his girlfriend hates fish. That's funny because Bobby's wife doesn't like fish either. And you know what? Honestly, I don't either. But I'm learning to really, really like it. I think that, the right fish and the way that you cook it, I think it's pretty good. All right, so we're going to mix all that together. And I've got 6 breasts. If I can't use them all on here, then that's okay. I'll make something else with the other 2. Because, you can always make chicken salad or make something else completely with it. And I do have a cake over there cooling because I'm making a dessert. And no, Aaliyah, if you're watching, you can't take it home. You can take home some, but not all. They always mess with me. Well, why can't we take the whole thing? They just like messing with me. But you know what? I mess right back, so it's okay. All right. So now we're going to pour that in the bottom of this 9x13 pan. Let's get all that goodness out of there. It says to mix it up in the pan here, but I already hand wash enough dishes. It doesn't bother to add a bowl. And we're going to put that along the bottom. Kind of even it out as much as you can. There we go. Look at that. I think that's going to be beautiful. Listen for the loud noise. Oops, it didn't go all the way up. That's good. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken breasts. And I'm going to do 2 at a time here. So I think I might be able to get 6 in there because they're not as big as some of those, like those commercial chickens that are really huge. Yeah, they're not quite that big. Now there is a bigger one there. And hopefully I can fit them all on there, but I'm going to try 4 first and see where it goes. Alright, so I'm going to spread these out a little bit. And I forgot to get a spoon out. Go figure. I tell you. Sometimes, you guys, I'd forget my own brain if it wasn't attached. And that's true. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to salt and pepper. And we're going to end up doing both sides, but I'm going to do one side at a time. I was looking today, I don't have much of my homemade taco seasoning left. I'm going to have to get some more made up too. But that's alright, that doesn't take long. And then we're going to just kind of sprinkle that taco seasoning over top of that chicken. And if you hit the chicken with your spoon, don't reuse it. I'm going to pat that in there a little bit. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing. Yeah, if you're using a spoon and it hits the chicken, we don't want cross-contamination there, so just change your spoon. See, I try to be safe too, you guys. Alrighty, and let's get this side done. And I did wash the chicken when I got it out of the bag. So I'm going to rub that into there. That looked beautiful. I love it. Love, love, love it. Alright. So let's see how these spin in. See if I can actually fit those last two in there. Which is going to be a big no. I'll figure out something to do with them. No biggie. Not a big deal at all. Now I'm going to use the same spoon now that I'm not using it anymore. And it says to use 4 ounces, but it tells you to bake it first. But like I say, we're making this into a freezer meal for Christopher, and so we're not going to do that. So now we're going to take a 4-ounce jar of just the little chopped chilies. And we're going to put that over top of all of the chicken. Kind of just rub it in there. Just so that the whole chicken is covered up with that. Look at that. I want to make sure all 4 pieces get some of that. Then, I don't have Mexican cheese. I'm trying to put pepper on the floor. But I do have Colby Jack. So, we're going to use the Colby Jack and cover that over the entire thing. Now you're going to cook this on 375 until your chicken's completely done. Now if you're not making this into a freezer meal, then what you would do is before the green peppers or the green chilies, you would actually cook that until the chicken was done. Then you put the green chilies on, and then you put the cheese over top of that. So then put that lid on there. And what I'll probably do is just put aluminum foil over it too. Because these don't sometimes click good enough, you know what I mean? Like this one is not. I will fix it. Boy, that's a heavy casserole too. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to use aluminum foil on it. Alright, so now I'm going to get everything cleaned up and get that other 2 pieces of chicken put away. And then we're going to get on to that dessert. That's going to be a couple steps too. So, you know, I might, well, it takes like 3 hours in the end. So you might not see the finished product today or tonight, but we'll figure it out. Alright, I had to deal with a couple things, but I'm back. Alright, so this actually was from Mitzi, one of my viewers, my community. But I am going to do it a little bit different than what she did. Not this part of it, but towards the end I am. So I don't have a little chopstick, so I'm not going to do as many holes. But we're going to make us an orange dreamsicle cake. And this is going to be amazing. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take, let me get out my whisk here. I'm going to take a box of orange gelatin. And we're only going to use 1 cup of liquid. So we're using the 1 cup of really hot water. I didn't mean for the cake to be this cool, but, well, it is now, so there's not much I can do. Alright. Oh, I love the smell of that orange. So we're going to get that mixed together really, really good. So I shouldn't have to cool it off for like the 3 hours that it says because, well, the cake is already cooled. I mean, it takes time for the Jell-O to harden up, but I think I could still move on to the next step after I let it cool even more. So we're going to pour that on top, just like we did with that chocolate cake. And cover the entire cake so that it can go down into the holes. And I'm going to just shake it a little bit so that it'll go down. All right, now I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, let it get cooled even more, and then I'm going to bring you back to the second thing I'm going to do for my son. All right, so the next thing I'm going to make them is mashed potato casserole with crispy chicken. So I've got water boiling over here, and hopefully 2 packages is enough. If not, I'll have to make another one. I'm going to make the mashed potatoes for it. I love doing all these meals, but boy does it make a mess. You got all kinds of stuff out, and you try to take care of some of it, you know, but it takes a minute, so it'll be all right. It actually, last week was therapeutic, and that's why I told him, I said, I'd like to do something again for you this week, because there's no worries in the world, no stresses when I'm just sitting out here cooking, and less people bug me. And I don't mean just anybody, but, you know, sometimes you just don't want to deal with the things that you're supposed to be dealing with, and that you hope it's over with, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm hoping. All right. So now we're going to put all those potatoes in the bottom of this 9x13 pan. I'm going to bring this over here because I am a righty. I think it'll be enough. They really liked everything from last weekend, so I'm hoping that they'll like this weekend too. My son didn't see until last night what I'd picked out because his girlfriend hadn't shown him. He knows now, though. And Tom probably will not be around for whatever taste test I do tonight, because after he gets out of work at 5, he's got to go to that son's house and help him with some stuff on his shed. So, yeah, he probably won't be home till late. And if you tell him, no, don't do that, he wouldn't listen to you anyway. So, that's the thing about Tom, you know, he doesn't like the word no. Alrighty. So then we're going to take, there it is. It says 1 cup, but again, I'm not wasting any of the corn, and my son likes corn. And hopefully Aaliyah does too. So I'm going to use that entire can of corn. Because, like, who leaves just a partial corn in their refrigerator? Like, who does that? I don't. I mean, if you do, that's fine. I don't do that, so. All right, before I go on to the next thing, though, let's get this gravy started. We got to get that water nice and hot. So then, the next step is we need to add cheese. So I'm going to get all that cheese added. Might as well use it up. And I'm sure they'll like that it's nice and cheesy. All right, now I'm going to use chicken nuggets. And, I mean, you can leave them in the whole pieces. I guess maybe I'll do that. And I'm going to cover it good so that they can get some chicken in every bite. Because whatever we don't use up, I'll put in the freezer in a baggie. And like you've seen me use them up for Jack and Missy's meals, I'll use them up. It ain't no big deal. Now, if you were going to do your own, right now you would want to stop and get that, you know, everything heated and then put your gravy over top. But because I'm making this into a freezer meal, we're going to do all the steps. See, that left like a half a bag? So that'll be plenty for us to use for something else. So that's a good thing. All right, let's get my tablespoon here. And for 2 cups, which I don't know if I'm going to need 2 cups, but that's what I'm going to make, I need 6 tablespoons of my gravy mix. I need to either make more or buy more because I'm getting low on it. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Alrighty. I probably won't need those 2 cups, but, well, who knows. And then we're going to get that gravy going. Get all the bumps and bruises out of it. And get it to thicken up just a little bit. So now the gravy is ready. I'm just going to pour that over the entire top. I think the 2 cups works perfectly. What do you think? Ta-da! So now I'm going to package that all up, and I am going to put aluminum foil, and then I'll put the plastic top over top of it. And this one you're going to cook for 35 minutes altogether. So put it in the oven at 400 for 35 to 40 minutes. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, get that cake back out, and let's finish up this video. Alright, so set up for the cake. Before I go on though, I want to thank Carrie. She sent me some 4-jar lids, the small regular mouth ones, and because I have quite a few of the wide mouth, but I'm like almost out of the regular. So thank you, Carrie. I love them. And if you guys want any, below in my description you'll see where you can get 10% off if you use Chris 10. So anyways, so now we've got our orange cake. Now, Mitzi had me try something else, but then I decided that I wanted to do something. I'd watched a couple videos, and so I wanted to try something a little bit different for the frosting. So we're going to take the vanilla pudding, and then instead of putting like the orange Jello in there, I'm going to put a small can, juice and all, of the mandarin oranges in there. And we're going to mix that together. We want to get it mixed really good. There we go. All right, now we're going to take whipped cream that I'd forgotten to take out last night, so hopefully it's thawed out enough. Oops. There it is. The last place I could find for it to have the opening, I tell ya. Then we're going to take that entire whipped cream and we're going to fold it into that. Oh, good, it's de-thawed. I could literally just eat this by the bowl. I really could. And then you want to fold all that orange into it. You If you want to use more than just 1 can of mandarin oranges, you can do that. I thought about using, I thought I had a big one and I opened it up. Ended up being peaches, so you guess you know what I'm having for lunch. Cottage cheese with peaches. I'm going to kind of whip that in there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that rich color. Yeah, just a little bit more white in there. Alrighty. Then we're going to take that over the top. Oh. You guys, this is going to be amazing. And we're going to spread that out over top of the cake. Look at that. We got some on the side here. Let's get that in there. I don't usually make this many desserts, but people keep sending me stuff, and I'm like, I kind of like that. I'm just going to taste this out of curiosity. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be jacked and lick the spoon. That is delicious. All right. So, thank you for coming along with me today. We did 2 different freezer meals for my son. We did this beautiful cake. I mean, not such a bad day, huh? So, I want to tell all of you, I know a couple have asked, and I have been under a little bit of stress. Well, a lot. But hopefully things are a little bit, going up a little bit, so it can take a little bit off my plate. And I want to thank you guys for noticing that and looking out for me. And that means the world to me. It really, truly does. I love you guys. I really do. You guys are incredible. So I'm going to get all this stuff packaged up. And then I guess I'm going to have cottage cheese and some peaches for lunch. So thanks for coming along with me. Kept me out of trouble for a few hours anyway. You guys have a very blessed day. And be a blessing. I'll see you at supper.